إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعين به ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. My respected brothers and sisters, Surat Al-Ensan, one of the short chapters in the Quran. And when you look at Surat Al-Ensan from the style of the verses of the surah, as well the concept that the surah goes around it, you can easily figure out this surah revealed in Mecca. And that arises the question, what is the difference between the Quran revealed in Mecca and the Quran revealed in Medina? As you all know that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam received his prophethood in Mecca. And he stayed in Mecca 13 years. Then another 10 years, the last part of the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he lived in Medina Munawwar. When you trace the Quran revealed in Mecca, basically this Quran would like to take out the polytheism. We take away the disbelief from the heart of the people of Mecca and strengthen their iman, their faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So basically replace belief with a disbelief. Replace kufr by iman. And because of that concept, you will see always Quran revealed in Mecca, there is no instructions, there is no orders should be carried out. But there is highlighting of the concept who is Allah and why should you worship Allah and what is your mission and what are the principles and the pillars of your faith. And since faith is a commitment, you will see one main feature of this type of Quran talk about the reward and the punishment, paradise and hellfire, which help us to confirm and prove that Surat Al-Ensan is a Meccan surah. But when you look at the Quran revealed, which basically most of the Quran revealed in Medina Munawwara, then basically you will see the instructions and the duties of the Muslim that should be carried out. Why? Because in Mecca, there is no faith. People worship idols. And in Medina Munawwara, Muslims, they have a state. So Islam is well existed and the curriculum that how this Muslim ummah should live. And when you look at the beginning of Surah Al-Insan, you will see a very simple question. هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. Have you ever think or thought about 100 years ago, where were you? 100 years from today, where will you be? Definitely the answer is, I was nothing that worthy of being mentioned 100 years ago. And after 100 years from today, have I achieved something that will make me or my name being worthy mentioned or not? So, from where did you come? And to where are you going? We talked about this concept before. And alhamdulillah, a little kid raised up in a Muslim family, he knows or she knows the answer perfectly. You came from Allah and you will go back to Allah. What am I supposed to carry out today? You have a mission to carry out. ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين. Who is better than that person who sit and announce it loudly that I am Muslim, I believe in Islam, not the Islam that I imitate my parents with, or the Islam I inherited because of my culture. It is the Islam that I sacrificed for. And when I say sacrificed for, at least sacrificed the time to learn and understand and practice it. Therefore, you believe in something solid, based by your senses and got approved. When you ask people today who created the heaven and the earth, the sun and the moon, rotates day and night, if you say Allah, then you should say Alhamdulillah. All praise is due to Allah. Do you know why? Because أكثر الناس لا يعلمون. Most of the people, they live today and before, they don't know the simple answer that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator for everything. There is nothing that you can feel or you cannot even recognize unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it. And if you worship someone beside Allah, raise a question. قُلْ أَرُونِي مَاذَا خَلَقُوا مِنَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Show me what other gods created or made that I can at least dedicate a part of my worshiping to them. أَمْ لَهُمْ شِرْكٌ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ. Do they have a partnership in the ownership of the heaven? Give me a proof or evidence. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sarcastically talked about attributing a partner to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أَمْ لَهُمْ شِرْكٌ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ. Do they have any type of partnership there? Have they made أَمْ خَلَقُوا كَخَلْقِهِ فَتَشَابَهَ الْخَلْقُ عَلَيْهِمْ. I do have a problem because there is so many gods, everyone created something, then I got confused. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it very easy. The creation is Allah and Allah alone. None in the history of mankind claimed I made the sky, or I made the sun, or I made the moon, or the rotation of the day and night based on my will. Why? Not because people are honest, because it is easily to be proved the opposite. قُلِ اللَّهُ خَالِقُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. Everything is made by Allah. So when I ask myself with a simple question, where am I, or where I was 100 years ago? Where am I going to be 100 years from now? Then I know the reality of myself. I am a creature made by a creator. Then you have to put yourself down. إِنَّكَ لَن تَخْرِقَ الْأَرْضَ وَلَن تَبْلُغَ الْجِبَالَ طُولًا. Be humble. Because it doesn't matter how heavy are you. The land that you walk in it is stronger than you because it carries you. And do not be much boastful of the achievements that you might make or attain. Why? Because you will never reach the height of the mountains. هل أتى على الإنسان حين من الدهر لم يكن شيئا مذكورا. The reality of ourselves, I was nothing. But because of Allah and my faith in Allah, I became something. And I will go back nothing as well. unless I have that faith. Allah is my Lord. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is my prophet and my messenger. Al-Quran al-Kareem is the glorious book that I believe in it, that I study, I practice, and I run my rituals based on the principles of it. And I believe in the reward and the punishment. Why? Whoever feels secured from the punishment will be always abusive. The nature of man that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created, كَلَّا إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَيَطْغَى أَن رَآهُ اسْتَغْنَى. When you feel like I'm self-independent, I need nobody, then you act weird. You feel like you are the master and the rest of the people are servants for you, or they should be that way. But when you know, whatever I have, it is a blessing from my Lord. And whatever I enjoy, it can be missed within a second. So, where were you and to where are you going? And what is the mission that you should carry out? That symbol, the trip of the human. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raised the point. إِنَّا خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ نُطْفَةٍ أَمْشَاجٍ نَبْتَلِيهِ فَجَعَلْنَاهُ سَمِيعًا بَصِيرًا. From a mixed fluid, 2 drops got mixed together, one from the father, the other from the mother. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called it amshaj. That was the origin of you. And the origin of your father from the beginning was from dust that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puffed at from his own soul and became a human. فَجَعَلْنَاهُ سَمِيعًا بَصِيرًا. Before this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, why did Allah create man? To afflict him. What does it mean to afflict him? He hates him to the level he decided to put him in troubles and pass hard times? No. This is the only creature beside jinn that Allah the Almighty granted them the chance, the freedom to pick and choose, to believe or to disbelieve, to obey or to disobey, to follow the path that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala paved for them, or to trace the crooked way of the devil that Allah cursed. And ibtila is not for hatred, ibtila for promotion. How do you know this car is better quality than another car? Because this car with hard conditions work better than the other car. Otherwise, all the cars will be the same. نَبْتَلِيهِ فَجَعَلْنَاهُ سَمِيعًا بَصِيرًا. Your Lord loves you. He didn't leave you in the intersection of the crossroads without guidance, but He granted you the senses, sam' and basar, the ability to hear and the ability to see. For sure, He gave you other senses as well. But this is just symbolic that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put you under trial, and He qualified you with the senses that if you use them properly, you will easily make the right decision. Last khutbah, we were talking about the disabled or brothers and sisters that have special needs, which we talked about their rights. But there is someone much worse position than them, because these people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will compensate them for their loss. But the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will hold them accountable and will not compensate them for losses, those who are eye-sighted. but they act like blind. Those who can talk, but when they talk, they do not tell the truth, they tell lies. Those who are talented in inventing things and making things, but they do not make it to pave the way and achieve comfort for people. They basically abuse whatever blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted them. فَجَعَلْنَاهُ سَمِيعًا بَصِيرًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him the ability to hear and the ability to see. And he mentioned, إِنَّا هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلَ إِمَّا شَاكِرًا وَإِمَّا كَفُورًا. So when you look at people around you, you will only see two types of people. One is thankful. He recognized the blessing of his Lord upon him. And he realized that whatever I enjoy with, it is a pure gift from my Lord. And since I'm a normal human, I should show gratitude to my Lord. And that gratitude should be in the form of believing in him, trying to figure out the path that will please him. And based on this, I will carry out the deeds that he will be contented with, and I stay away from whatever he prohibited. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala perfectly fulfilled this. He revealed the books, sent messengers for that mission. So you are not alone, and you do not need to figure out everything by yourself. Everything became hand reach, but you just need to use your senses. إِمَّا شَاكِرًا وَإِمَّا كَفُورًا. The other one, he would like to live his way, his own way. And he doesn't want to have a commitment. Even though the commitment with Allah is your freedom. And to refuse to make a commitment with Allah, basically you enslave yourself based on your desires. A lot of people, they look at faith as a commitment, but it is a positive commitment. And they look at those who do not have a faith, they are free. They are not free. No one is free. Everyone is subject to the rules that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made. And when you feel you are free, you're only free for whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to be free. I just give an example. The one who disobey Allah, from where did he get the strength and the power to disobey his creator? From himself? لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. Do you know what this means? It means I have no hawl, no quwwah. I have no will, I have no power. Except what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed me with. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala briefly talked about why should I be straightforward? Why should I make a commitment? Why commitment is an obligation and is not easy thing to carry out. Because by the end, today you work and you are not accountable for your deeds. But tomorrow, the chance to work will be taken away, and whatever you did or whatever you say, you are accountable for. إِنَّا أَعْتَدْنَا لِلْكَافِرِينَ سَلَاسِلَ وَأَغْلَالًا وَسَعِيرًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, هَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told you from the early stage of your life, the minute you got your puberty and mental health, that you can think for yourself that what should I do? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raised the question ahead. From where did I come? To where should I go? And what am I supposed to do? This is a very important question. Based on this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you will either adapt to the way that you are grateful to your Lord, or you are ungrateful to your Lord. And that grateful or ungrateful is not just a statement you announce or something you claim. It is the way of the life that you are going to live. And because of this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a reward and punishment. The punishment is إِنَّا أَعْتَدْنَا لِلْكَافِرِينَ سَلَاسِلَ وَأَغْلَالًا وَسَعِيرًا. Those who disbelieved and denied their responsibilities towards Allah, and they abused the freedom that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted them, then what will happen to them? Salasil, chains, aghlal, shackles, sa'ira, blazing fire. The chains for their necks. Exactly like those who are terrified movie telling the story of the people in a prison. This is the way the people will be in the hellfire receiving their punishment. And the rest of the surah talk about the mercy of your Lord. Why? Because the rest of the surah talk about two main parts. Part about people of Jannah and a share of their attributes. And the remedy that Allah led Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to for relieving himself from the pain and to strengthen his body to carry out the responsibility of the da'wah, propagating the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أيها الإخوة المؤمنون إن البر لا يبلى والذنب لا ينسى والديان لا يموت اعمل ما شئت كما تدين تدان وادعوا الله وأنتم مقيمون بالإجابة. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه من السماوات ومن الأرض ومن ما بينهما ومن ما شاء من شيء بعد وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبد الله ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وكونوا مع الصادقين. My respected brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raised the question, where were you? To where are you going? The mission that you should carry out. Who created you? And how did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created you? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not only nourish this body and made it from nothing, but also draw the right way for that body, for that human, to be adapted and to be qualified for the blessings of Allah to be revealed upon him in his life here, in the worldly life, and to pave his way towards the Jannah in the Akhirah. Otherwise, you are in your own way. And when you are in your own way, you put yourself at risk. ربنا لا تذر لنا أمورنا طرفة عين. Do ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not to let you handle your situation even for a glance of an eye. Why? Because you don't know how to handle yourself. This is the risk that the disbeliever put himself there. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about إِنَّ الْأَبْرَارَ يَشْرَبُونَ مِنْ كَأْسٍ كَانَ مِزَاجُهَا كَافُورًا. The rahmah of Allah tells you ahead that what is going to face you, to be well prepared for it. You appreciate the threatening and consider it and work according to it, you got saved. You deal with it as nonsense, you will be accountable for. But the day you will remember it, it will not help you. إن الأبرار يشربون من كأس كان مزاجها كافورا. Al-Abrar, righteous people, they will drink from a spring. They will have the cups, the pure wine they will drink in Jannah mixed with camphor from a camphor tree. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this surah, he talked about the two types of wine that people will drink in Jannah. Both of them are pure. One of them is mixed with camphor and the other one is mixed with ginger. Someone might say, what is the difference then between the wine today and the wine in Jannah? Completely different. You will have the similarity of the name, but the nature of the two types of wine, the one you drink here and the one you drink there, is completely different. Minor example, the wine you will drink in Jannah will never cover your mind. while the one you drink in the dunya takes away your mind. The one that you drink in dunya, you cannot control the outcome of your tongue. In Jannah, it is always peaceful, nice talk. عينا يشرب بها عباد الله يفجرونها تفجيرا. It will be a spring in your poverty. But the unique feature of that spring, or of that well, for example, if you have a well in your backyard, then every time you like to drink, you need to go back your backyard. Or if it is in front of your house, front yard, then you have to go the place where the well is. But that well, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يُفَجِّرُونَهَا تَفْجِيرًا. Whenever you sit and where you go, you can flow that spring or that well based on your own will. So if you are in the backyard, you can make it in the backyard. If you are in the front yard, you can make it in the front yard. If you are a traveler, you can make it in your way. Something unbelievable. عينا يشرب بها عباد الله يفجرونها تفجيرا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about righteous people. Then he replaced abrar with ibadullah, the worshippers of Allah. Who are they? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala attributed them by saying, يوفون بالنذر ويخافون يوما كان شره مستطير. First thing, they stand up for their commitments. Whatever commitment they make, they always stand up for fulfilling that commitment. With Allah or with the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they are in a fear of a day. That day is, the main feature of it is a sweeping, terrifying day. شره مستطير. And it covers everybody. ويطعمون الطعام على حبه مسكينا ويتيما وأسيرا. And they give food for everyone, mainly those who are in need, the orphans, and the captivated ones. And the scholar, they say, when someone asks you for ta'am, for food, this is the sincerest beggar. If someone asks you for money, he might be truthful or not. If someone asks you for a car, maybe in need, maybe not. If ask you for anything, but when someone asks you, please, I need anything to eat, that means he is sincere. And when they feed these people, they say, إِنَّمَا نُطْعِمُكُمْ لِوَجْهِ اللَّهِ لَا نُرِيدُ مِنْكُمْ جَزَاءً وَلَا شُكُورًا. When a believer gives away for the sake of his Lord, basically there is two goals he needs to achieve. Goal number one, he would like to block the need of the need. Goal number two, he would like to purify himself. So therefore, he will not be boastful that I'm a giver, my hand is up. But when you give for the sake of something else other than Allah, then you will definitely put down the one you give to him, and you will find yourself another boastful guy talk about how great are his deeds. فَوَقَاهُمُ اللَّهُ شَرَّ ذَلِكَ الْيَوْمِ وَلَقَّاهُمْ نَضْرَةً وَسُرُورًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, because of their giving and because of the attributes they have, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will save them from the harm of that day. وَلَقَّاهُمْ نَضْرَةً وَسُرُورًا. And instead of this, or instead of their fear of that day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant them nadra, reliance on their faces, wasurura, joy. Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu, it is reported that he said, when people of Jannah enter Jannah, let's say you just enter Jannah immediately right now. And by the way, Jannah paradise has 8 gates. 8 gates. While hellfire has 7 gates. Okay? The rahmah of Allah much more than his anger. It doesn't matter from which gate you will enter Jannah. The first thing you will see two springs or two wells. One of them you are going to drink from, and the other one is going to be showered from. Why? They say the one you will drink from, it will take away the sickness of inside. There is no hatred, there is no hostility, there is no negative jealousness, there is nothing, no worry, no sadness. Whatever irritates the inside is going to be recovered forever. And the other well or the other spring for being showered with, basically, that for the reliance of the pleasure of those who live in Jannah. You know, when you see someone leads a comfortable life, easy from the day first till the day end, you trace the happiness in his face. So basically, that what the other spring will grant. So, respected brothers and sisters, Surat Al-Ensan is basically the surah that arises the question, what am I supposed to do? You were nothing before and you will be nothing after, unless your faith makes the difference. Number one. Number two, you have the free will to obey or to disobey, but that doesn't mean you are not accountable. Today you work without a reward, but tomorrow it will be a reward without work. The only way to be saved from the harm of that sweeping, terrifying day is to be from al-abrar, the righteous ones, whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called them the worshippers of Allah. And what are their attributes? Among their attributes, they stand up for their commitments. They fulfill their promises with Allah and the creatures of Allah. And at the same time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about them. They extend the hand with Him for everybody, especially those who are in their need. And Allah symbolically referred to three types of people. They might be the most people in their need, whom they are the miskin, the needy people, yatim, the orphan, and the captivated one. Especially the captivated one. If you captivate someone in a battlefield, you have to keep their dignity and their order and feed them decently. And Rasulullah in the seerah, he did much more with them, and this is basically what we are going to continue with Surat Al-Ensan. This is why we titled Al-Ensan 1, inshallah will be followed by Al-Ensan 2. وإني داع فأمنوا ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين ربنا حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكره إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من الراشدين. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala lead us, all of us, to the straight path. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the chance to be among the righteous ones. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the name of being among the worshippers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will save them from the harm of the day of judgment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the chance to enter Jannah peacefully without previous torture or reckoning of their deeds. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all and bless our community. Allahumma ameen. Qumu ila salatikum yarhamuni wa yarhamukumullah. Inshallah, after the Salah, we have requested around 5 du'as for different brothers. So inshallah, we on their behalf. Then inshallah, we'll pray Asr also at 2:35 today, inshallah. If you have a chance, you can wait, inshallah, and do Asr Salah with us.